The Network of African Parliamentary Committees of Health.
Thank you very much, Taza. The Network of African Parliamentarians on Committees of Health, as the name says, it is a network of parliamentary committees across Africa, as you are that deal with matters of health. So as you are aware, most parliaments in Africa work through the committees. These committees are small sectors of members of parliament. Now, each parliament has various committees. Amongst these committees is the committee that looks at matters of health. Now, these committees that look at matters of health have come together and decided to form a network or an organization of committees looking at health. So these are the committees that have formed this body that is called NEAPACOH, the Network of Parliamentarians that look at matters of health. And this is the network of, this is the conference that we'll be having, the conference that will look at matters of health across Africa. Thank you very much.
Mr. Hambote, what significance does this forum bring, especially being the host country, and we just narrow it down to the Committee on Health here at the National Assembly of Zambia?
Well, it's a big thing for Zambia and for the parliament, for our parliament, in the sense that we will have delegates coming from across Africa, health professionals, parliamentarians that are experts in health matters, and like your introduction said, we are looking at universal health coverage. And so we'll have experts, health experts, talking about matters of health and networking on matters of universal health coverage and discussing these issues in our backyard. So the significance is that we will get experiences from various parliaments on how they are tackling matters of universal health coverage. And so it's a big thing for us because it will help the country, it will help our health sector improve on its universal health coverage through interactions with the various parliaments, on knowing, first of all, how are they tackling matters of health in their various countries? How are they tackling the challenges? If you listened to Parliament yesterday, there were issues of availability of drugs. There are issues of people managing to access health matters. All these are issues that will be discussed during this conference.
Okay, and coming from the organizing committee, how many countries so far have confirmed taking part in this forum?
Well, we expect a total of 30 countries to participate, and we expect a minimum of 5 delegates per country. As at yesterday, we had a total of 18 countries that had so far confirmed participation. And so we are hoping that out of the total number of the expected 30 countries, by come weekend, we hope that we will have all the 30 confirming that they'll be participating in the conference.
Okay, and seeing that this forum has been going on for over some time now, is this number that you're expecting any different from the previous years that the NEAPACOH forum has been hosted in other countries?
Well, from the organizing committee's perspective, we are hoping that we'll be within the same range of numbers that have been participating. The total number, obviously, of member states of this network is 30. And previously, the last year's conference, which was held in Tanzania, there were more or less that same number. And we are hoping that we'll maintain the same number even as we host this year's conference.
Okay, and we get to the preparedness. How prepared is the National Assembly of Zambia to hosting this forum?
Well, you know, preparing for a conference is like preparing for a wedding. You can never really say you are 100% ready. There will be 1 or 2 things that are still hanging. But in terms of arrangements that we have made so far, I think we are almost at 80% ready to host the conference. We have made arrangements to have the conference starting from the 25th of February running up to the 27th of February. We have made arrangements for the conference to take place at Mulungushi International Conference Center. We have made arrangements to receive the delegates as they come. We have made tentative bookings for those delegates that want to stay at various hotels, so we've made those bookings. We have made transport arrangements to receive the delegates, transport them to their various places where they'll be staying, as well as to be transporting them to and from the venue. So from that perspective, I think we are ready to go.
Okay, and I know you've highlighted quite a number of measures that you've put in place from the organizing committee. We come back, I know the committees on health are the ones specifically participating in this conference, and of course other stakeholders. But this year we do have the Planning and Budgeting Committee, which will be part of this forum. What is the role of the Planning and Budgeting Committee in supplementing the work of NEAPACOH?
You know, thank you very much. That's a very, very important question. It was indeed a deliberate move to include members of the committee, the Planning and Budgeting Committee. And the main reason for inclusion is that, remember, in the budgeting process, there is the issue of does the Ministry of Health receive sufficient funding for their health needs? And so the Planning and Budgeting Committee comes in to try and supplement in the allocations that are going towards the health sector. So we want them to try and give an input into how the budgeting process works in Zambia, as well as to try and give an input on whether or not the health sector receives sufficient funding. So it is important that we bring in the Planning and Budgeting Committee so that they give a different perspective. Apart from just looking at the health matters, they also look at how much money goes to the health sector. Are we meeting the benchmarks that are needed in terms of funding for the health sector, so that we know if there are no drugs that are going to the hospitals, where is the problem? Is the problem that the health sector is mismanaging resources, or is the problem at the budgeting time that not enough allocation is given to the health sector? So from that perspective, yes, the Planning and Budgeting Committee becomes important, and that's why we have thought that it's important that they be part of this conference.
And generally, Mr. Hambote, how does the committee ensure sustainable financing, especially to accountability in health and more related to parliamentary work and the role that they play?
So you know, the role of committees is first of all to provide oversight over the functioning of the executive. So these committees, in their oversight functions, they will, among other things, look at budgets. Remember, we are now looking at the sector budget system of approval of the budget. And as these monies are allocated to the various sectors, including the health sector, one of the cardinal issues that the committees are doing is to look at how are these funds being expended. And so from that angle, the committee becomes very important. NEAPACOH also comes in to try and see how to strengthen the oversight functions of these committees. So from that angle, the NEAPACOH becomes important because the shared information between the various committees on health will strengthen the oversight functions that our health committee will be performing.
Okay, and just now we do take a break. To our viewers and listeners, continue watching Parliament Television. Do join us on the other side.
President Hakainde Hichilema on Friday, 20th February 2026, addressed the nation on the progress made on the application of national values and principles. The address will be broadcast live on Parliament's television on DSTV channel 272, GoTV channel 28, Topstar channel 5, Parliament Radio, the National Assembly of Zambia Facebook page, and our YouTube channel. Note that access to the seating of the House will be strictly by invitation. Make a date on Friday, 20th February 2026 at 09:45 hours. Parliament TV, bringing Parliament closer to you. Get ready for the 17th meeting of the Network of African Parliamentary Committees of Health, NEAPACOH, from 25th to 27th February 2026 at the Mulungushi International Conference Center, Kenneth Kaunda Wing, under the theme Repositioning Parliamentarians to Enhance Health Systems for Emergency Response, Equity, Resilience, and Sustainability in the context of attaining universal health coverage. Join parliamentarians from over 27 African countries as they drive health equity, resilience, and sustainability for all Africans. Catch the live broadcast of all the proceedings of the meetings on Parliament Radio and Television. Your health, your parliament, your future. Parliament Television, bringing Parliament closer to you.
Well, welcome back, and thank you for still being with us on Parliament Television and Radio, and of course to our social media